What's this? Dick Cheney endorses Kamala Harris? Why don't you come around the back porch and we can talk about that? So last week, former Vice President and retired warlord Dick Cheney emerged from his shadowy mountain fortress to endorse Kamala Harris. This is hardly surprising, as President Trump's election back in 2016 all but destroyed any political ambitions of the former vice president's daughter, Liz. But that is a different story. Last week, on commenting on Dick Cheney's endorsement of Harris, Dana Bash referred to Cheney as one of the most die-hard conservatives of the last 30 years. This immediately struck me as a false statement, in consideration of Cheney's foreign policy positions and his position on gay marriage, both of which are profoundly within the historical gamut of the Democrat Party. And should I even mention how the term neoconservative is both nonsensical and self-contradictory? Well, I thought I should take some time to explore a few of Cheney's historical positions to see whether Dana Bash or myself is more crazy. So 30 years ago was 1994, directly in the middle of Cheney's private sector work. Looking at his voting record in the House back in the 80s, Cheney was broadly conservative, though he did repeatedly vote to put money towards programs that separated mothers from their children under the guise of early education. He also tended to vote for whatever seemed to be popular and would pass the House. When he returned to public service in the late 90s and 2000s, though, things were quite a bit different. From supporting stem cell research with no restrictions on the origin of those cells, to verbally backing balanced budget amendments while at the same time advocating for programs that would necessitate greater expenses, to advocating crime policies in line with Joe Biden's crime bill, to doubling down on and increasing the power of Jimmy Carter's Department of Education, old Dick was squarely in line with Democrats' actual and long-standing Wilsonian agenda, centralizing government power. But the real thing I want to talk about is war. Only one major military conflict in the 20th century was not started under Democrats. In Desert Storm, Saddam Hussein walked into Kuwait, but other than that, Korea and Vietnam were Dem ideas and were run in Dem ways. Pinprick attacks, which gave the insurgents the idea that they had a fighting chance, and gave our side plenty of opportunities to get killed. Later, Barack Obama would become a master of this strategy. Never mind whether there were good reasons or not to get involved in Iraq and Afghanistan. Dick Cheney led the charge and orchestrated a system exactly in line with his Dem antecedents. We soft-shoed through Iraq for almost a decade, with Cheney's Halliburton pals lining their pockets with no-bid dollars. Just like LBJ and Nam, Cheney oversaw this minor mobilization in two nations, while Americans like Green Day were so distracted with hating him back home that no one had any awareness or idea to fight smarter. Throughout the Bush years, the Dems in Congress railed against the Cheney's actions, but consistently voted to fund them. And that's why this Kamala thing is so hilarious. Kamala spouts that we need to end war in Ukraine and Gaza, but commits to the exact same actions and the exact same ideas that not only enabled those wars to start, but also provided incentives to keep them continuing. And now that she stands honored by the endorsement of this great man, who 20 years ago oversaw the exact same set of positions and policies that organized two similar Vietnam-style forever wars, the exact kind of thing that Eisenhower had warned us about. Well, that's the view from my back porch. If you guys have any ideas or thoughts, please leave them in the comments down below. And follow us, subscribe to the video, and throw us a like. Anyway, till next time, this is Back Porch News.